Wait, so first paragraph?
Yep.
All right. Going to school in the U.S. can be hard. Students are expected to juggle classes, extracurricular, wait, how do you say that?
Extracurricular.
Oh, extracurricular activities, homework, and maintain an active social life. But for Burmese refugee SB, there's a far greater learning curve. What's in the SB?
So yeah, they call it's a student, a refugee student, but because he's under 18, they don't disclose his whole name for privacy. Nice job. You want to do one more? Or you want to popcorn someone?
I'll read one more.
Okay.
My first day of school, I did not know what to do, as B said. There are so many people and so many classrooms, and everyone was talking so fast. They all had so many books and things that I did not know I was supposed to have. I got lost in the school and could not find my class, and I felt like everyone kept staring at me and laughing. It was one of the scariest things in my life.
Nice job. Pick someone else to read. You can do a paragraph or two.
How about Ruth?
Let's go, Ruth. Paragraph 3.
SB, that one? SB, whose name we cannot disclose because of his age and refugee status, came to the U.S. in the summer of 2016 and is currently in his freshman year in Dallas, Texas. His experience within the U.S. educational system has not been unique. Refugee children face these challenges daily.
Nice job. Pick one more reader and then we'll do that question.
I pick someone? You can pick for me.
Let's see.
Miss Leilani.
Leilani?
Oh, no.
Okay. Nashla, why don't you do that 4th paragraph for us, right where it says almost.
Okay. Almost 85,000 refugees have immigrated to the U.S. in the past fiscal years, and school districts throughout the country receive new refugee students daily. Due to the system of refugee settlement within the U.S., certain cities and school districts yield disproportionately high numbers of refugees. One such city as Dallas, Texas.
Awesome. Thank you. Nice job, guys. So question 1, I believe you all have to answer in order to unblur the rest of your text, is for SB, school in Dallas is hard because of what reason? Why is school hard? Be careful here. Make sure you're thinking about the question and what makes school hard.
I got it right because I'm genius.
Jose, what do you think for the first question? A, B, C, or D? Why is school hard for SB? Jose.
Yeah.
What do you put for the first question? Oh, did you say one?
Huh?
Did you say an answer? I was asking you what you put for the first question.
No, I didn't say an answer.
Oh, I thought you did.
Well, what is it?
I'm gonna guess and say it was.
Think about what we know too. Why is school going to be hard for a student like SB, for a refugee?
Taxes received.
Sebastian Baloney. That's a good name.
He's going to.
No.
School.
Yo, Julius. Yo, help me out real quick.
Jose, let's hold on. Let's think about it. So look back in the text. We've only read those 4 paragraphs. You don't need to reread all 4. We know SB is a refugee. Which one of these is going to make it hard for a refugee to go to school? What would be the reason? Because Texas receives more refugees than other states. Is that going to make it hard for him in school?
No.
No, the system of refugee resettlement is unfair. He is going to a new school in a new country. His problems are not unique and are therefore ignored.
I feel like it's either between B or D.
Between B or
D
D.
or D? What?
So it's
Just
B
pick
or
one,
A.
bro. Like, fuck.
Someone else, what do you think? What do you
Me.
put, Julius?
Me. I picked the C.
See what
You
other
told
people say. We agree, disagree?
respectfully.
So make sure we're going
I-
to start reading again at paragraph 5. I want people to make sure they're listening because these questions, while they might seem easy for some of us, if you're not listening, and it will be confusing because all of these are mentioned in the text or are somewhat mentioned in the text. So we need to make sure we're getting the right answer down. In that second paragraph, it talks a lot about why it's so difficult for him to be in a new school. And it's because of what? What is he not used to?
Because he ain't used to that.
What are some of the things he's not used to? Look in that second paragraph.
Because she ain't used to this, because she ain't used to this.
Right, it's a new school and a new country, but what are some of the challenges in the new school?
Like, he don't, I don't even think he speak that language. I mean, he probably does, but like, they
Okay,
speak
well, that's
faster
one
than
thing
me.
we know that's a barrier, but let's look back in that second paragraph. What are some of the
Oh,
challenges?
look, they have like he gets lost. You feel me?
Okay, gets lost because not sure, where the classes are, what the building's like. What's
Yeah.
another thing mentioned? Someone else, hang on,
he
someone else go.
have all the books that he needs.
Doesn't have all the things in the books that he
Mm,
needs. And what does he feel like towards the end of that paragraph?
complete dog.
Yeah, it's like everyone's staring at me and laugh. It feels like everyone's staring at me and laughing at me. It's one of the scariest things of my life. How did we talk about how Ha felt when she was in school?
Miss, he's scary, but like that's funny.
Is that funny? You guys are gonna probably feel like that
He's
in some.
scary, like bro. Like imagine being scary. I'm cooked.
Well, he's in a. So think about what school you might know what schools like we've talked a little bit about. They go to like a school building with like one class. And then even next year, I guarantee you some of you are like, oh no, I won't. But you're stepping into like a central high school. Imagine
Bro,
if
I'm never scared, bro. I'm ready for Central.
imagine you've never been to a American school and then you step foot into a massive building with thousands of kids. You don't quite know the numbers, the letters, where to look for things, where to find things, where your class is, what you need to have. You don't know a single person there. So obviously going to high school might be scary for some of you, but then imagine you don't even know how to speak English or find your way around. Of
And
course it's gonna
Miss,
be
the
uncomfortable.
teacher asked me a question, I'll be like, "Que lo que hay, boo? I got wrong, boo." It's so easy, like, and they be like,
I'm sure you're talking a big game over there. So we have a lot of different challenges, and going to a new school in a new country is the main focus of that. So question 1 is C. So please make sure we're going to start reading again. In order to answer these questions, you got to listen and you got to be able to know where to find them in the text.
The way he felt.
Natalie, you want to pick someone to read paragraph 5?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Did Jose read yet?
No, he didn't.
"Eh,
If you could do
puta
it.
madre,
I picked Jose.
All right,
cojones, bro."
read paragraph 5.
Man, you want me to read? Ha! Funny joke. I'm not reading. But,
Yes, you are. Go ahead. And enough with the chatting. You already Xavier in the chat box. Hurry
man,
up.
I don't want to read.
Come on, we're gonna hold up everyone else. Paragraph 5. It's one paragraph.
Uh, hold on. All right. Refugees have settled in Dallas since 1970s, mainly for Burma,
Burma, yeah.
and the numbers have only increased due to politic unrest,
Mhm.
political unrest. The face of Dallas has evolved as a result of this continuous
Continual.
influx of refugees, and this change is most evident when looking at the demographic breakdowns of schools. The Dallas Independent School District enrolls 1,200 refugee students.
Perfect. Pick someone else to keep going. I'm going to pick for you. Xavier, read the next paragraph.
Okay.
Paragraph 6. Nice job, Jose. Make sure you guys are following along and paying attention. We got to make this quick. So when you call, then you just got to jump right in. Paragraph 6.
Please, can I read? Can I read?
You can be next. Xavier's going to do this one, and then you can do the next ones.
Okay.
But follow along so we can just pick right up into it. Xavier?
All right, Miss, where are we going? Where are we?
You should know that.
Where?
Where are we? Someone tell them.
Number 6.
Paragraph 6. Guys, you got to follow along, okay? First of all, you're recording. You're making yourselves look a little bad here. On my recording, you got to
Schools,
follow along with the story.
teachers, and
Going
staff.
on YouTube, bro. You can't be
Shut up, Julie. Schools, teachers, and staff have to adjust the programs offered at the infrastructural level to account for the influence of refugees. The majority of students are unfamiliar with the structure of the U.S. educational system and do not speak English at their grade level. Thus, a majority of them are enrolled in English second language ESL programs.
Good, thank you. So what's the other challenge, Xavier, that refugees face based on that paragraph you just read? What do they face as a challenge?
English.
Good, yeah, they don't know how to speak English. They have to be in ESL programs, which some of you might be familiar with or have heard about or have been in yourselves, where they need to learn English as their second language. But obviously, the older you get, the more difficult it becomes to pick up on languages. It's still doable and still fun to learn, but it's still difficult. And what else? What else is the other issue or challenge mentioned in this paragraph?
They have to learn it, and people don't understand English.
They have to learn it and read and write that sentence right in the middle. Right before they talk about English, what do they say? The majority of students are what?
Unfamiliar with the structures.
Yeah, so just like they're unfamiliar with the school, they're also unfamiliar with how schools run and are set up in America. So it's not something we often think about, but it might not be it might not hold true that in other countries they have intervention classes, or they travel from class to class, or they have a gym class, or they have an art class, or they travel from 7th to 8th grade and the 9th to 10th. It all is set up completely different. So there's so many different things that we might not even be thinking about that could be confusing and overwhelming. Nice job. All right, Alexiani, you're up. The schools.
Miss, do you want us to do the next 2 or
Yeah,
just
the next 2 because they're kind of small.
All right. The schools in the U.S. are often bigger and more complex than those in other countries. This leaves students feeling lost, like SB did on his first day and the weeks after. The other students knew where things are and how things work and what to do if they need something, SB said, but I did not.
Good. There is a noticeable difference between refugee students and their peers. In the Dallas School District, refugee graduation rates are about 35% compared to 84% for the average student. Some of this stems from the fact that they experience barriers to learning. When I don't know the language, how can I learn? SB said. It is so hard to have to always be thinking about the words and the school. I wanted to stop going to school after the first week. It was too hard. So someone talk to me about the graduation rates. What are they like for refugee students? What tends to be the case? Layla, what's it like? What's the graduation rate like for refugee students? Look in paragraph 9.
What was the question?
What are the graduation rates like for refugee students?
This is 35%
Compared to what?
compared to 84% of the average student.
Yeah, so 35%, where normally 84% of average students graduate. What are a lot of refugee students doing? Obviously not graduating, but what are they actually wanting to do? Similar to SB in paragraph 10. What does SB want to do? He doesn't know the language. He's struggling to learn. He wants to.
He wants to learn.
He doesn't want to go, like, he wants to leave school.
Yeah, he wants to drop out. He wants to leave school. Not like, oh, I just don't want to do school, but it's too hard. It's too difficult for him to just pick up on this. So hence the reason why refugee graduation rates are about 35%. So my math is pretty poor, but quite an extensive amount less than the original 84%. Anyone want to read starting in paragraph 11?
I want to read, Miss.
Go ahead, paragraph 11.
It's not just academic challenges that cause the long graduation rates among refugee students. It's the culture difference as well. People would laugh at my accent, tell me to speak English better. SB said, some of them would call me names and words that I didn't understand, but I knew they were supposed to be mean. When I tried out for soccer, one boy told me that my kind were not allowed to be on the team. All I wanted to do was play soccer in my life. Burmese kids couldn't play for school soccer teams, and I wanted to play now that I was in America. Well, when he said those things to me, I left.
Good, thank you. Hold tight for just a second and then you can keep going if you want. So they're not just facing academic issues and differences. What's the other difference or challenge they're facing as well?
They're being bullied.
Yeah, they're being bullied, and even more so, is it just like bullying, like, oh, I don't like you? What are they actually being bullied for?
Or like
The color of the skin.
The color of their skin, so the way they look, and the way they what? Or the way he what? Talks. So it's not just bullying. These people here are being what?
Racist.
Yeah, we have racism occurring where they're being discriminated against and told they can't join the team because of how they look, the color of their skin, and the way they speak. And then they're even saying, "Oh, you need to speak better English." Right? Like all these things are horrible. Like he's just come over here and he's trying to learn and he's trying to educate himself and be a part of something, and now he's being discriminated because of the way he looks and the way he speaks. So it's not just that the school is difficult, it's also the way they're being treated. Do you want to keep reading?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
When discriminatory comments like these are made, refugee students can become
alienated, which means they feel isolated. They feel like they no longer belong.
From the rest of their classmates and eventually segregated general population.
Good.
Coupled with culture differences, such as when Burmese girls wear white paste known as tanaka on their faces, or when some Congolese children can't hang out on Saturdays because of religious activities. These situations are
exasperated.
It is easy to say how this leads to problems for refugee students.
Perfect. So exacerbated means that they are making a bad situation becomes even worse. So you have all these, social, racial differences, and then you pair it even more so with cultural, religious differences, and a bad situation, a tough situation just becomes even more difficult for refugee students. So question 2, they face rejection for all of the following reasons except what? Where do they not face rejection?
B, their low graduation rates.
Good. B, low graduation rates. That happens. They have them, but that's not why they're being rejected or made fun of. So question 2 is B. Nice job. All right, we're almost there. This last part actually kind of goes quickly, despite that it looks a little bit longer. I'm just going to read the first 2 paragraphs to speed it up, and then I'll take some more volunteers. So schools have tried to combat this alienation with programs like the Refugee School Impact Program in Dallas. The program coordinator, whose name I will not butcher here, provides educational support services for refugee students. This includes responsibilities ranging from home visits to keep refugee parents up to date on their children's progress, to ensuring that teachers can create culturally aware learning environments for refugee and non-refugee students. These projects range from maps showing where everyone is from to world history classes allowing students to present on their home, country, and culture. She says the main goals of the program are to enhance academic performance of the refugee students, to develop positive relationships with the parents and integrate them into education of their kids and into larger communities, and also to inform and educate school personnel on the needs of the unique to the refugees. So these two paragraphs are all about what? What are schools trying to do? What are paragraphs 15 and 16 about? What do you think? Anaya, what do you think that 15 and 16 are about? What are schools trying to do? In paragraph 15 and 16, you can sum it up or you can quote something.
Make them more welcome.
Yeah, they're trying to make them more welcome by implementing what? Read that first line of 15. What are they trying to like put into schools?
Combat this alienation with programs
Good,
that
yeah.
help them.
Yeah, exactly. Different programs to combat them feeling alienated or separated. So yes, they are trying to make them feel more welcome. And you can continue or someone else. How do they go about doing this? What are some of the things they're doing to make them feel more welcome? Anyone can go for it or shout it out.
There's educational support.
Good. So they're offering help for education, you know, the ESL programs or, you know, maybe tutors. What's another one? Someone else give me one. Jose, give me another one in 15. So educational help. What else do they want to do to help refugees? Since I know you're listening now, right?
Yo, miss, you said educational and help. Bro, chill. Educational and help?
So Anaya mentioned that they're trying to put programs into school to help students or refugee students feel more welcome. One of them is educational help, like educational services. But look at the end of 15. What else are these programs trying to do? At the end of paragraph 15, or the middle of. What else do these programs do?
They're allowing refugees to, allowing students to present on their home and culture.
Yeah, and that's a great one, actually. Do you guys remember in the book yesterday, I think it was, Ha thought they were making fun of her flag, the Vietnam flag, when they put the red and yellow, like the honey mustard and the mustard and ketchup on the hot dog. But then what does she think about, she mentions that people might not know what about her country.
That those are the colors of the flag.
Yeah, they might not even know those are the colors of her flag. So oftentimes what happens is, and I'm guilty of it too, I don't know much. My history is pretty poor. Like I don't know much about other countries. Even when I teach this book, I have to go back and look into Vietnam and the war. It's just not something I'm too familiar with. So they let refugee students kind of present on their country and their culture because they want to connect with people. They want people to know about their home and where they're from. And a lot of the times, if they're coming from a war like Ha is, people in America just might know the bad things about their country. Like, oh, this is the only thing I know is this is, you know, communist or wars or violence. They don't necessarily know what these people enjoy and love about their homes. So they're trying to let them connect and feel like more of a presence or a community in their classroom. And then the other thing they're doing is they're trying to educate teachers too. So teachers need to be able to create culturally aware environments for refugees and help them feel included as well, like what they would do with what Jose just mentioned. Anyone want to read paragraph 17? Approaching the end. 17.
I won't read.
Go for it. Programs that address.
Programs that address the divide within the academic community are vital to creating an environment
Mhm.
where refugee students can succeed. More ESL teachers have been hired and contracted for large events and meetings, and all staff go through additional training to learn how to understand the needs the refugee students may have and challenges they may face. Despite these efforts, the administration is not always the greatest resource for integrating students.
Good. Big one. I'll read these last few just to speed it up a little bit, and then that way we have time to actually get through the other stuff. But nice job, my readers. Thank you. When I need help, I go to other refugees, SB said. They have been in the United States longer, and they know what I'm going through. They know that there are things the other kids know that I do not, and they tell me and help me out. People tell me to ask teachers, but I don't know if they can help or will just call my parents. Refugees make their own support systems. It is not just Burmese helping Burmese or Congolese helping Congolese. The support crosses national identities and cultural barriers. There is a common struggle in being a refugee that they all know. One of SB's best friends, and the person he says gives the best advice, is a boy named Solomon, whose last name we cannot disclose. He came from the Democratic Republic of the Congo when he was 10. Someone in my gym class made fun of me for talking slowly, SB said. I was embarrassed and upset, and I did not want to go back to school the next day. Solomon came to my room and told me that if he could do it as a baby, I could do it as an adult. He took me to his Spanish class with him and showed me how slow everyone was talking. He told me, look, they speak slowly too. You're both learning, so don't worry. It made me feel better, and I cared less that I speak so slowly. Vickery Meadow, the neighborhood where the vast majority of Dallas refugees live, has been dubbed Dallas's own United Nations by D Magazine, a Dallas-centric magazine. It's not just because there are so many different countries represented, but because they all form one supportive, unified community. Refugees come from different backgrounds and cultures, but they all know what it's like to be on the outside of the dominant society in Dallas. In the face of budget cuts that limit the abilities of the Refugee School Impact Program, communities like that in Vickery Meadow are important now more than ever. I have heard people tell me to be scared, SB said. I am worried a little, but people like Solomon and Amy and my friends from the neighborhood make me confident and make me know that I will be okay and I can succeed. All right. So last of these questions, why does SB have hope in spite of the challenges he has faced? Why does he have hope? Why is he able to be so hopeful?